Mississippi Survivor here, and what I want to do is is around the season where it's getting colder and we're using different types of fuel. So what I want to do is show you how to take this fireplace and make it more efficient and make it burn the fuel more efficient. Okay. So first of all, we're using 7% isopropyl alcohol, and my reason for that is because the 90% isopropyl alcohol it sits, and I don't want my cylinders to turn black and all that right there from soot being in the air because it just doesn't disappear in the air. It goes somewhere. So I just use a 7%. Or if I want to use something that burns hotter, I would use something like maybe denatured alcohol or or Everclear or something like that, which be very expensive to run Everclear in your system. So you don't want to do that. So let's make this quick. We'll start by just removing this unit right here. And this wick, this is what they use. You can see I've already used it. But you can see this fabric in this wick. It burns good initially when you first start burning it, when you do the first burn. But once you burn it in the alcohol, what it does is it doesn't burn the alcohol efficiently. It doesn't burn it hot enough to make it evaporate evenly with the water that's in the alcohol. So it leaves this thing full of water, leftover alcohol, in the bottom of the tray that could have actually got burnt and used for fuel. So it's still wet now, and you can. I bet I can squeeze some juice out this thing probably still. No, I haven't used this in a couple of days, so it's wet, but not wet enough to drain out. But usually, it's so wet until I can just run the alcohol out of it because it's still just wet on the inside. So that's not what we're dealing with right at this second. So it's okay. But I'm just letting you know what to do when you burn this. You're gonna have to, when you pour the next set of alcohol on top of it, you're gonna notice that your burn time is gonna get less and less and less. And the reason that burn time is getting less because it's not burning the alcohol efficient enough or hot enough to burn it all evenly to make it be almost dry when you're in there. It should be damp, but not like it was soaking wet and I was just pouring it out like water. Okay, so what we're going to use to replace that is this. And you can see I've already folded. This right here is carbon fiber. And it's about the best thing ever to use to burn with. And it burns at a very high temperature. It won't burn. You have to burn at a super high temperature. It's nothing you have in your house to burn this with hot enough to burn it up. And it makes very, very good wicks. Very good wicks. And also they call this plumber's felt as well. Plumber's felt. And you should be get at a plumber store or either mine. I got it off of Amazon because I couldn't find it anywhere and I didn't feel like going through the process of trying to find it. So you see, I've already cut this to fit. I fold it to sort of be double up instead of single and set it down the tray. Yeah. This is before I go there. This is something else I thought about. If you'll notice, I've noticed with all these fireplaces they send with these little bitty reservoirs. I noticed that the little bitty reservoirs on here it's not that big, and what I'm going to get ready to try to come up with is a way to put a top because this comes out as well. Now you can see what I'm talking about. This is perfect. You see all this fluid in there. I don't know if you can see it moving around on the camera. I'll tell you what. I'll pour a little bit on here so you can see what I'm talking about. Look at that. Look at all that. Look at all that fluid. Wasted fluid. And there's quite a bit of it. So I'll say, let me get my light to just be on point side. Let's see. And let me show you. You see this fluid that this left behind? And you'll see this fluid, just unnecessary fluid that was just left behind. So now what I want to do is take this piece right here and find a lid to go across it. Or I can put one of these in it, or I can put this wick inside of it, but put it in here in a much bigger size reservoir, which will probably give you a couple of hours of quite a few hours of burn time. You can probably get about maybe 2, if that, out of this. But this one right here, something this size like this, I'm sure you can get quite a few hours out of it of burn time. You got to think too, how big this wick is going to cause it to burn more fuel. So it's going to shorten the time. You want to shorten the time on something that's already small in the first place. Give me 1 second. Try to get this fluid out of here. Get rid of this. It's not that much, so just bear with me for just a second. Now, some of that, now the fuel that I'm talking about normally that's in here, left in here, that's inside of here, it don't burn. It's just leftover alcohol that doesn't burn. It burned the actual, what burns inside of the alcohol is gone. So all they leave is just the alcohol itself. Okay. This was the part that was burning over here was just some overspill alcohol on this side. So again, you drop this thing back down in here. I'm not gonna put that much. Also, see this chamber also has I guess it's supposed to be a breathable, make it a breathable chamber. Let me show you real quick. Let's check this out and I'll show you. See, if you can see that, you can see the holes down in the side of there. But I don't understand it being like that when you gotta put this in here. It's gonna block it anyway, so I don't understand why they made it like that. Just like had a holes in this and then yeah, well, it would have burned too hot then and then it'll make a mess of it. It'll burn too hot. I've tried that with another unit. And this stuff burns different. It looks like it. And it gives a nice burn. And you see this nice temperature, nice hot heat coming off of that. You gotta give it some time to stabilize itself. I didn't put that much alcohol in there in the first place, but this wick is the way to go. Now, if you give me a second, I want to show you one other one that I made, and the wick in that one is much better. Now, this one is one that I made myself. and I get about 6 hours or better, something like that out of it, because that's a lot. You know, that's a lot of fluid ounces, which is the measurements are actually on the side of this, almost 2 cups of alcohol. And then you'll notice that I got the wicks very low. And it still burns at a nice little level, but it'll constantly give a constant heat, and it does really good. Like I turn this on, and I turn this on with it, and it puts out, heat a room, it'll heat a room with no problem. Yeah, that was my issue, was coming up with something that would actually heat a room, give you a nice heat in the room without turning on an electric heater or something that's going to run your electric bill up. Yeah, those things are, to me, electric heaters are very dangerous, and they're not safe at all. To me, it's not. I've experienced too much has happened with an electric heater, so I'm just not a big fan of. I have one electric heater. That's it, and I'll never leave it running while I'm gone. I always turn it off because it's not safe. But this is to make it burn efficiently. But what I am going to do, I'm going to come back and do another video on this. And the next video I do on this is going to be a video showing I got 3 other types of fuels that I want to put in here. Because that'll change the colorant of the fire, and it'll show you how clean it burns or whatever. But when I fill this up the way it should fill, when I fill this all the way up and I light it, it has a very good, the flame is a little bit, it jumps around, it's a little bit wider, and it burns really good, and it puts off a lot of heat. Now, it's not, I didn't put that much alcohol in there, so it's pretty good. It's still putting off a lot of heat, and it lasts, you don't have to worry about that. Like, I can blow that out, and I can grab the wick and then pick it up. No heat, no nothing. It just goes, it cools that quickly. But this is a great way to scratch your fuel, because this stuff is not cheap anymore. You're looking at about $3 for this 70%, and then the 90% is like 3.5. And in places I've seen it for $4. I mean, for even a smaller bottle. So I was like, you gotta find some alternative ways to burn. Now, I wouldn't burn oil. I don't want to burn oil because it'll stink up the whole house. Yeah, it'll do what you need to do, but your whole house will smell like fried chicken. So you definitely don't want to do that. But this is a very good idea. Just so you know, let's open this up so you can see. Just a mason jar. Put the splits in there. Now, I warn you, the more of these you pull out, the further you pull this part out, the higher the flame is going to be and the more fuel is going to burn. But this thing burns for a long time. You can make a couple of these and heat your room up too. It'll take a while to heat it up versus a flame this wide burning like this, because it's going to burn more BTUs. That's why I put so many holes in the top. They're trying to get as much out as possible. If I needed to burn more like this, then I'll just pull this out, pull out these wicks, and make it burn longer. So it's, every winter time I try to come up with some more efficient ways to make the fuel last. I ordered this stuff a couple months ago. I ordered it by bulk, so I have a ton of it. It says you keep running to the store. No, I don't, because I'm buying bulk, so I have it. So because I know wintertime is coming, and I don't know how to keep running back to the store every other day. So no. So I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. This is what I wanted to show you. Um, you can get this off of Amazon. It's called Plumber's Felt or Carbon Fiber. I've seen and heard it both ways on YouTube, either carbon fiber or plumber's felt. Now, this is what I'm doing. So I'm not telling you you gotta do this. I'm just showing you what I'm doing to make it more efficient. So you use your own discretion when you get ready to do this. Don't say I said go do this and you don't know what you're doing and burn your house up. Cause I ain't got no money for you. So make sure you use a lot of precaution. And the thing you do with a fire, you keep it away from everything on its own platform in the middle of the floor somewhere where it's safe. You got kids, don't even burn it at all. I'm just telling you, because people don't think. A lot of people don't think, they just do. But use this fabric, you won't have to worry about buying another one like this. I've been using this for a couple years, and it still hasn't burnt it up. I just once I get this wet with the fluid, it burns just fine. I'm just interested. I really want to burn some Everclear, and I want to see how hot it burns. Since that's something that you can consume, which I don't drink. I just want to burn it and see how clean it burns. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. One thing I want to say before I go, I just want to ask you: do you know Jesus Christ? And if you don't need to know Jesus Christ, I invite you to know Him and bring Him into your life. It's simple, just Romans 10:9, confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus died and rose on the third day, and from there begin to live for God. Yeah, thou shalt be saved. So I just try to do that for every time. I just let people know because people don't understand how effective these podcasts or whatever you want to call them or uh, videos that you put out to do other things. You also gonna be promoting Jesus Christ because this is our job as Christians to be a ambassador for Jesus Christ. So I make sure I do that so people know, so they can't use me as an excuse. I didn't. Ain't nobody tell you. So I am going to tell you. If you don't know Jesus Christ, get to know Him. Read Romans 10:9. Give God a sincere heart of prayer. If that's what you really want to do, get sincerely and pray to God and ask God to forgive you of your sins and ask God to come into your heart and start to live for Christ. All right, well, I'll be back with you guys again for the next episode of this here with the different fluid, the different fuels. Hopefully, it'll be today. If not, it'll be sometime tomorrow. But anyway, I didn't see you guys in a while, so hey, I'm back in here. I have reasons that I didn't want to come back at all, but I did because people need this and how to do things to help them, and also they need God most of all. So, Mississippi Survivor, and I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.